Welcome, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome back to Youth Center. This is Jonas's first Youth Center week. Jonas, as you know, is an expert on, among other things, old theaters. So this building being an old theater is very Jonas. Anything you guys want to start out with? We got Rick, Jonas, me, and McMullet here.
Well, I love that we got the sign fixed up, and I guess the everyone welcome is what McGee Sr. had on it.
So we put a new ballast in the sign, what, a year ago or so, roughly?
Roughly a year ago.
And there was a new electronic ballast and it failed, so I found a bunch of new old stock magnetic ballasts. So it's back to all vintage components.
Yeah. I don't trust electronic neon transformers outdoors, but decor and coils like this.
Same on both sides.
So on an old Google Street View, we noticed that the previous version of the sign said "Everyone Welcome," so that was the McGee Sr. era.
Yeah. So we noticed the new doors and new grading. That wasn't us, but it is nice.
Now, It is my suspicion, it is my belief that since we know this was a church, might have been a church early days, we don't know.
It was a church in the 50s, that much we know.
Yeah, but like pre-1914, I wonder if it wasn't built as a church, and if it was, I think that the shape of the roof, this stuff, and this stuff is original, and they tore out some of this to add in the Rex ticket booth here, and the Rex entrance. The Rex facade had to cover the top of the building, and then when they took the Rex down in the 50s, they put this 50s brick and this 50s, 60s style brick in.
That makes sense.
And filled the holes back in.
It does make sense.
My memory, and again, it's been a long week, and it's only been 3 days. My memory is that we do have proof that it was a vaudeville theater before it was a movie theater, and so we're pretty sure it was built as but we did. Stuart and I went back in some records and found evidence that it was like a butcher shop and a few other things. And like
that was like a cleaner's shop or
Yeah.
something. And then this
The
was
windows over here are definitely.
This was the auto garage, and I think that was a sign shop.
Who's got the flashlight?
Me.
Okay.
So I'll let you. You want to operate it?
No, it's the Jonas.
So for the record, this is the first time in a
Quick
while
sign.
we've had all three lights on the outside working. So it's good to have. It's good to have those back.
It might take a minute to hold it there for a little while. Let's see if that kills the sign.
Sure. Just because the ballast needs replacing doesn't mean the photocell is shot.
Well, my concern was that when the ballast died, it took the photocell with it.
Yeah.
The thing is, with electronic ballasts, I don't think they fail super violently.
The breaker was tripped.
But that might have been something to do with the sports light. So this one was broken and
Okay,
it
it works.
goes.
Photocell works.
Excellent. Okay, so we know that is on at dusk and off at dawn.
Yep.
And then these are just constant.
Cool.
Yes. Flashlight.
Thank you.
So, what do you think of the murals out here, Jonas? We ever talked about
These
those?
are very cool, and the thing is, I can tell by the face and the hands. I think they were painted by different people. The hands and the faces are very different. Very curvy hands here, very flat, straight hands here, and a little bit different face.
Somebody find this person.
Yeah.
It's probably on Facebook.
Yeah.
2000, so this was 23 years ago. These were painted as of this recording.
Thank you.
Of course, this is quite cool. We know, of course, that wasn't part of the theater. That wasn't part of the theater. Originally, there's an exterior window right there, which, who knows. Part of me wonders if this was the concession booth, and then there was a wall right here, and this was the concession booth, and that was something else, kitchen or back room
It
or
could have
next
been.
shop or something.
Office.
These ceiling fans look great in here. They're just fancy enough and not too fancy.
Now, was the valence lighting your idea, Jonas? Was that your
Yes,
suggestion?
because of something in my childhood. So these valances here and here, covering this up so the light shines out the top and bottom. And the switches are interesting. Off, valance, fan, both off, which is just wonderful.
Yeah, any combination of the two that you want. And the same
Yeah.
goes for up there as well.
Now, back here, we've got a little Art Deco stuff, curved wall over there. These sconces, which came out of a church, I love mid-century church lights and crosses. These are definitely from the theater. It used to be chrome. They're cool. The restrooms have been remodeled a lot, but there's ceiling fans in the restrooms, which is great. There's
A Rick special right there, SMC U42, one of my favorites.
hugger with ruffle shades in there. And I like that that one's like anti-brass and wood, which fits the men's room.
I kind of was going for his and hers thing.
Yeah,
with
and these
that.
great door handles.
Those were from Menards. I tried to find something that was in the same ballpark as the red
And
one.
here, it's a white hugger with kind of frillier shades.
Yes.
Yeah, works great.
I thought it was
And-
perfect for the women.
And that too, with those weird two different circuit ceiling sockets that we still don't really understand. I wonder what this was. Conduit with 2 wires.
Oh, that was they used to have a space heater here,
Oh,
but we decided that was not super safe, so
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
decommissioning
Not at
that.
all super safe.
Also,
Okay.
there's evidence of a top tank toilet right there as well.
Oh, yeah. Now, these are original Theater Rex door handles, probably
Yep.
from the 1939
1940, yep.
renovation. They're great.
Definitely are. They're in the old photo.
I have no idea what
This
what
one's
would have
I
gone in
locked this
there.
one up already, so this one needs to use this one.
I have no idea if this would have been a poster case for a coming attraction or what.
Do you think it was always glass?
Maybe, I don't know.
We know these windows were actually added later.
Yeah, because they cut into these old scuff plates with
Yeah.
the theater as well.
Yeah.
And this one over here, I got the paint off of it, so that's kind of what they look like
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
We think,
Which we actually have one in the basement. It does have a window. It's a lot smaller though. It's probably about the size of one of those
I
tiles.
think that originally pre-1914 and maybe pre-1939 or 40, that was a balcony. And maybe one end of it
Yeah.
was a projection room. Probably, I was thinking this, but probably that end because the bathroom's there. And
Bathroom's
the
on
projection is. Bathroom's on this side? Okay, so the projection room must have been over
Wait.
here because,
Do you think this window would have had anything to do with the original projection room or no?
no,
Okay.
absolutely not.
I think if that was a
Now,
balcony.
one thing we did was I found these they showed me these little lights in a back room.
Yes.
And I thought, we were trying to figure out a place to put them. What about putting them, yeah, they're touch lamps, three-tier. The LEDs work in them. We leave them on high, and they kind of pretty up these and make them a little less, as Rick said, dismal, which is a good term. This is cool. I would love to put lights of some sort in these.
That would look really cool, like a chandelier in the middle.
Sconces and the warm and cool floods for the
How
front.
do you feel about these, Jonas?
Oh, the Rick Surprise
Yeah.
lights, those are amazing. Those are so cool.
It
Well,
is.
I'm not really one of the big super hot fluorescent guys, but that's just cool.
It's something that's like out of a dream, like a
Yeah.
thing hanging from the light, isn't it? I
And
mean,
we're starting to get this fixed up, so this is looking a lot better
Absolutely
with
is,
tiles
yes.
filled in.
if you remember Dan's underground stories, they're actually some of the same tiles.
Yep. Tan colored ones are Tan Dan tiles. That's the brand name on them, Tan Dan tiles.
Tan Dan.
When you talk of the term trash symbols,
Yeah.
this is a trash symbol.
Yeah. They're
Well
well
loved.
used.
Still sounds okay.
It does sound pretty good.
Morgan, of course, Dan was grooving on that earlier. It sounded spectacular. Baptismal pool, which is kind of neat, but the coolest thing is, of course, the
This is where the
Daytona
famous
Celebrate.
FanStick commercials are filmed.
Yes. The original stage was out here, and then there was.
So it came right to right
Yeah,
here.
came right to here, and then there was the screen was back there. So those two lights and this light probably shined on the screen just
Yeah.
as
Well, this
between entertainment stuff.
We had evidence.
This
that
wall
there
wasn't
were
here.
colored bulbs in there because we found that red 6001
Yeah,
up
yeah.
there.
Well, those pots are changing color now.
Yeah. Just takes time.
50s exit sign here.
Yes.
From a previous decoration they had going on.
Under
And
construction.
here's the fan room, which just has
The Matt Cody Memorial Green Room.
the Homestead 29-inch here, and then these little, what are these?
Pasadena.
Pasadena Fan Company, which is like, wasn't Pasadena like the Casablanca one step down kind of thing?
Kind of, it was a
Showroom.
lot like that Airflow by Casablanca thing. It's a very similar, it's
Yeah,
just like
well,
a tier below.
Airflow was late Homestead.
Was it really? I thought
Yeah.
I thought those were dumbed down Casablancas. Like
No,
how's it made?
I brought, when I get back to the hotel, remind me to show you the,
Okay.
airflow catalog, because I have one.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, these were like a lower grade Casablanca.
Yeah, and then of course steps up there going to the baptismal pool. This doesn't go anywhere, but there is a fan. There's a little hugger.
Yes, we had to. That was
We
the
had
hugger.
to.
That's the hugger that was original. So when we first started coming here, that hugger was right here, and then we
Okay.
had some crappy track lights here.
That's just cool that you've stuck one in there.
Why not? Yeah, might as well use
Yeah,
it.
might as well.
And I don't know if it's been shown on camera much, but we kind of decommissioned the dungeon storage and the rec room storage as per the church owner's request. So this is now kind of our room to keep all the fans.
The church has no objection to this being your storage room.
Does not seem like it, no.
Anyone want a globe? Patreon
Yes,
only.
Patreon only globes, yes. Oh, Patreon only. You want an original sticker from when McGee Sr. was running this place.
Yep.
Oh, and this bulb is the one I was talking about. We found this up above those,
Misread
With
probably
its-
from the 50s or 60s.
and it's burned out, but this was above those louvers, so that makes me think
Yeah.
they had colored bulbs.
And these were in some of the,
Those were next to one of the other louvers.
yeah.
Remember to take that tonight.
Yeah,
'cause
if you
did
want
get
one
one
of
of
those,
them.
that's
Yeah.
all yours.
I think I'll leave it.
Okay. But yes, so this is kind of our room to use now.
Okay,
This
and I
is
guess
church
let's-
storage.
Let's go down to the basement. Let's go down.
Okay.
However, going to leave my packing cane.
Yes.
It's not one here. It's just a cool room. Look at this. It's just really cool. There's more fans than
Yeah.
you need for this.
Get Dan's good side.
Yes. He's working away, doing his hard work.
Every side is a good side of the Dan.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's you got them in any angle. There you go.
Yeah. Getting videos ready for you.
It's been redone with tape, and if you see it from 10 feet away, you don't
That
care.
was me at 3 a.m. kind of thing. I was upset that the paint came off, so I did that. And that
It's-
actually is pretty legible.
It is up to code.
It is up to code and legible.
Here we're going to talk about a couple of weird things. That back there, climbing up there is
Yes.
how you get to the attic. You climb rungs up the back side of this wall
Yeah.
and then crawl through a little tiny hole up in there.
Yes.
I was not willing to do that. This, however, I'll do. This is the definition of jank. Everything about this.
We have the sump pump running up here temporarily.
Well, we have a functional sump pump now. So
Yes.
that's a large improvement.
We
and
just
it's
need to
great.
figure out
This
how
is right
to
in
get
here.
it outside from down here.
Oh, that's working. Did somebody come down and turn that
Yeah,
on?
I plugged it back in when I
Yeah.
unplugged the things. Yeah.
I do want to put an Edison bulb in that
It just astounds me that these can be put in working order again, but I guess
Yep.
they can.
Ralph is a genius, and he knows how to fix this.
And then.
Well, be careful.
And then, big
wonder what
rusty machinery.
Yeah.
Sump pump back there.
Yep. It's
Really,
working.
really rusty electricals
This
on
was
that
the
wall.
original air conditioner. You know, look, it took 7 belts to operate.
Yeah.
Yes, this was on its own 100 amp breaker just for that.
And then
I
if you want
believe
to
it,
get
I believe
to
it
the-
was ammonia.
And then if you want to
It
get to
was.
the big, huge squirrel cage fan that blows air through the place, it's through that door, which is just nope.
That one,
pay
is,
me enough
that
to-
one is decommissioned now because they run the blowers off these newer furnaces, but it's piping through the same.
That is very substantial.
Yeah, seeing the size of that with the light
Also
there.
check you have a manually
Oh, yes.
adjustable recirculating versus fresh air lever mechanism as well.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you want to blend in some outside air, you can.
Yep.
And we
So
have
the one
air
I was talking
comfort.
about in the Roxy was about 3 times the size of that. 3 times as high, 3 times as
We
long.
really love these old these 40s. These were all hand done. Somebody
Yeah.
stenciled these on here, and you can see what they used to do, and they're all in working order.
We've got to replace these at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is thanks to Tori from Fanimation. We
Yep.
got that from Tori. It's been
Cool.
very useful. And don't forget our old socket fan up here.
Oh yeah.
That's the original one from the 80s.
And for some reason, again, there's the double socket thing, and there's 2 1940s hexagonal ceramic lights next to
So
each other.
I know a little bit about this. The one with the socket fan originally was some sort of indicator for stuff back there because you can see there's that extra conduit going.
Yeah.
We cut that off and made this just its own one on a switch.
Okay.
These were the 2 that were on the 2-box system, and we wired them together so they both work.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
And this down in here, you know, if I was a repairman, 30 years ago and they sent me in here to work on this, I'd say you better be paying me double. That's rough.
Yeah, but it's interesting nevertheless. There's a lot of history.
Interesting,
Yep.
that's a good word for it. Well, yeah, so this is youth center.
Show them the, do we go in the kitchen at all? Like, I mean, not saying like downstairs, but just like the front two rooms? I don't think we really looked at that.
He kind of peeked in there, but not.
We can look at
We
that.
could show
Yeah.
the I guess the soccer.
Is it okay to
fan.
show Patreon the kitchen?
And Dan wants to show the roof.
Yeah, we could do that. I'd say we leave the dungeon off the
Yeah.
public for now, but just the eating room and the front office, I think
Is
are
it
worth
acceptable to show the kitchen on camera?
Yeah, just aim the camera at the more flattering angles.
You don't mind me showing the unflattering things in the kitchen except for the, well, like the kitchen equipment, I mean, like the stove and that stuff.
Whatever you think people need to see.
Okay.
So this fan was a Habitat scrap bin find from probably almost a year ago. We're probably gonna swap it for something else, but it has been a champ. It's been hanging in there.
And you can see there used to be a wall here. There was a wall there, and then at some point they took it down, and then at some point they put in this janky thing. And then in here there's stuff. There's a socket fan hanging from the ceiling.
We thought the socket
Yeah.
fan on the 40s socket's kind of cool.
That puts out a really good breeze for a socket
We
fan.
almost swapped this out today if we had time.
As you know, it's got 3 levels.
And then there's Hammond pedal board,
Yep,
Hammond
Hammond.
case, and then one of these electric Hammonds, which is really cool.
I still have yet to figure out exactly what that switch did. I
Yeah.
believe it was a light switch for that at one time, but they've since rewired it. But
I wonder if that's the same plate as the one on that wall
Oh,
in the
backstage.
back that's 40s.
That's
maybe.
we could pop it off sometimes.
Look at this teeny tiny little socket box.
Yeah.
Like,
The fact that- And then I still love that. That was the old
Paintball.
light still there.
did we take a look in that room? Al?
No, we didn't. We
Not
put
yet.
it in there.
I think this menu is funny. Because
Yes.
even though I understand the food was okay, it was like for people eating after church. Come in here and
It
look
has not been adjusted for inflation, I'll tell you
That's
that.
not. Yep.
Yeah,
4 wings for
and,
$5. That's pretty good deal.
have a look at the glorious cooking equipment we have here.
Yep.
These are no longer in use.
Which includes fresh oil in the fryer, delicious.
Ready for your chicken.
And of course, the vent hood, which is for some reason way up here and has all the guts ripped out. And it wouldn't do much anyway over this because it's ventless, so it's just pull it out and blow it out right here.
Eventually, I was gonna hook the bulb back up because why not? But
Make it the attic's
just
problem.
make the light work. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if at some point it had vented to that.
It did.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's exactly what
And
it
then
was.
up in there, it's really hard to see, but up in there, there's we
There
can show
is.
looking
We
up
could
over
show
here.
I have my flashlight on me today. We can look at the 1910 skylight.
Yes.
Look through there, Jonas out. I think you've seen it. See? That's
Oh
the
yeah,
top of the skylight.
sure is.
Yep. So
Because
this
up
has-
top it's sealed over.
had a skylight at one point. No. No. Mueller. Rick Mueller.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Had your little touch.
And then right here, I'm just going to show.
Yeah, just show the ceiling at
Yeah.
least because it is very cool.
Look right up. This is all original wall paint.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Get my flashlight back out.
Yep.
And Jonas, as you'll probably see in one of the other videos, possibly Patreon only, but we did check that the flue actually is still usable.
Yeah.
It does have
So this
it
is
does
a
vent.
chimney.
Yep.
You can see there's an outlet up there that's capped, and I hope that's a separate flue because there's one on the other side.
That's a different one.
Downstairs.
This is a separate one.
And then
Yeah.
tin ceiling here, which was bronze in the squares and silver on the rest of it, or maybe all of it
It was all
bronze.
silver and a lot of the silver coatings coming off.
Ah,
Yeah.
so that was all silver then.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. It's very pretty. I wish I could like take an area that's a little more
Yeah.
messed up than this and cut a square of it and hang it on the lobby on the
We
wall
might
like
be
in
able
a
to
frame.
do that at some point. There's access places. There's other access points where we can get better shot at it. So.
Cool. I'm gonna shut this door part way. Oh. That's no way. Please note the outdoor window there.
Yes.
And then here we have the rec room or rec room with the wonderful 80s wall paneling and these nice SMC ceiling fans, which I think look really, really classy in here.
These are the 24 karat gold plated ones, so very snazzy. We did do a little more ceiling repair in here as well. It's a pretty much a full grid of tiles at the moment, so that helps. And then I know we showed the drum light that I added last time.
I love the quotes on the wall over there.
Yes, those are all kind of youth center related.
My granddad hired some people, David Jermaine Haynes. Jermaine ain't never been up there. Esperdell McGee Jr.
Yes, important quotation.
By FanStick. New for 2022, introducing LightStick.
Yes.
FanStick is the solution to all my problems.
Yes. It sure is.
And now let's go upstairs.
Yep.
Oh,
Which might have been a
I have a
balcony.
key. I have a key that's locked yet. I can't remember what it is or not. We could show. Yeah, we could show.
I don't think we locked it.
Oh, probably
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
Part of the cool factor of going up here is you can get on the roof.
Yes. And this was not. Oh.
So I think this might be one of Jonas's favorite places actually up here, because this is the projector room. What used to be a projector room long
Yep.
ago.
And here we have a
Old fuse box, long
old fuse
decommissioned.
box. Yep.
It's not. It's.
We've
just for
actually
show
known electricians who will test by going.
to see if it tingles.
Yep.
Different era.
Oh yeah. And in here there's another fuse box. The fuses are not connected, but this is connected.
That could be made to use.
Where's the light switch for in here?
Source on it. Right there. We got a shop light overhead for now. We are gonna get these other sockets working at some point, but they're.
Do you have any idea what was in this patch?
I took that off. There's nothing behind it except concrete. It was the drywall repair, I think. Make sure you show
Again.
that exit to roof. We love that
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
stenciling. Give it a good show.
Ooh. Alley-oop. Beautiful night out here.
Yep.
And of course over here there's a skylight slash vent of some sort.
Yep.
We
What
have
we
no
just
idea what
looked
that
at.
was
The
from.
one we just looked at was over there.
Yeah. Oh, there's one with a vent on each side. Okay, neat.
Does that make you think this place was built without electricity? It
No.
had
no,
skylights.
No. It was built after like 1910.
Well, this was skylight too.
Yeah. If this built after maybe first decade of 1900s, yeah, it had electricity.
Well, we don't know. It could have been
The original
1880s.
part was 1880s though.
Yeah, that might have been gas lights. That was gas era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody
They didn't have electricity yet.
Yeah.
That was not counted.
Yeah,
That was like in the Thomas Edison still developing.
Right. They hadn't come up with Edison and Swan. Neither one had come up with the light bulb yet. But in the 1870s, I think.
Very
it
nice
was,
view.
There was a guy who was a tinkerer on a tinker's cart in London, and he also was a glass blower, and he made up some light bulbs. And he strung them around his cart and ran them on a battery. Nobody paid any attention. They noted it. Somebody noted, hey, there's something novel, neat, and then forgot about it.
Oh wow. Somebody got shortchanged on that.
Oh yeah.
So you think this might be original right here, this brickwork?
I think that might be, this brick is original. The brick facing on the other side may have been redone.
Okay.
And the reason the Rex facade was so high was that they had to cover this, because that was very common in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, was when you, the thing that was popular was out with the old, in with the new. If it was old and fancy, cover it up. Don't spend the money tearing it down, just cover it up with a new facade. And hey, and the attitude was kind of as simple as, if it's new and now, it's better.
Right. So we think that one running theory now is that we think this was covered by the Rex, and then in the 50s when they wanted to convert it either back to a church or convert it to a church for the first time,
Yeah,
they
they
took the
filled
Rex thing off and this was revealed, and they
Yeah.
kind of cleaned it up and made it more presentable.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. I like this view from up here. This
It's
is a
very
place.
nice up here,
I'd come up here. I'd sneak a little bocce up here and grill.
The
Have
joke's
some
been
burgers.
that you could definitely develop a tobacco habit up here.
Yes.
Chain smoke.
If
Oh,
I
yeah.
started
Tap your
smoking
ashes
pipe,
off
I
the
think
side.
I would start smoking up here.
It's a
Yeah.
very nice view of the sign as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both sides.
For anyone who's not knowledgeable of this, I'm a pipe smoker, and I took Stuart to Ivan Rees, which is
That
in
was a cool
Chicago.
experience.
They're huge. They had They were a little low. They had only about 8,000 pipes in stock. They normally have 10 to 15,000.
Okay, so one question I wanted to, I can't remember if we had a clear answer on it. What was your theory on the bricked up window that's in the projection room?
When there was a balcony there for a vaudeville theater, maybe there was a projector off to the side, but in this area they didn't need to have no light.
Yeah.
The balcony could have a light, could have a window. Yeah.
And it almost kind of looked like there might be one there too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
probably been tarred over. But
I maybe, but I think the staircase is probably the original way up. Unless all of this was rebuilt at some
Yeah.
point. I don't even know if they rebuilt this in the 50s. I don't know.
it's
We really
possible.
don't know.
It's hard
Yeah.
to tell.
Yeah.
But
There have been more evidence of skylights, which I have not seen
Right.
yet from the ground.
this these were lobby ones at one point, right?
Yeah, the
They
lobby.
have to be. They're in the center.
They have to be in the lobby, and this kitchen, these would have been.
That's where
whatever
that
the
one would
business-
be.
Would the theater
rec
have
room, rec room and that one.
Would the theater have had skylights in the lobby?
Sure.
Would that have been, yeah.
Possible.
If it was a vaudeville theater, sure.
Do we have any idea what that is?
Yeah.
That like rod sticking out?
Maybe that.
They both have one.
Crack it open, maybe?
It could be to pop open a window.
Yeah.
Gas piping for gas lights,
Oh,
or a vent for heat. If there were gas lights up in there to let heat out, I don't know.
maybe.
I really don't know. For all I know, there's some old gas piping in the walls of the building. I don't know.
Yeah.
Never know. Yeah.
I like this
Prismatic glass block.
prismatic glass
Yes.
block
That's-
with the glass jalousie window, and that's what that's called, jalousie window, where those shades open or close in the middle.
That's a
just-
very Chicago thing.
That's
Yep.
extremely my apartment has that. I have it's glass
Those-
bricks with a louver thing in the
Yeah.
middle. in the
Yeah,
back.
those are popular in climates like this where it gets very warm and very humid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want that.
Vent out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's show the evidence of a possible theater fire.
I'm not sure exactly what the deal with this was because it does kind of look like this might have been charred at one point.
Yeah, it had to be fire.
So I
Yeah.
don't know if there was a small controlled fire long ago. I mean, clearly the door survived just fine, but
Yeah.
it's definitely burned on the outside.
And of course, for anyone who doesn't know, the reason there's a bathroom up here is in the early era of movies, celluloid film was ridiculously flammable. So if you go into any of the big movie palaces, the openings that the projector throws through have a metal slot around the sides and bottom of the metal shutter, and the door out is metal, and there's a big vent in here for the heat from the projectors. And if there was a fire, if one of the
Do you think that
projectors-
window could have been a vent, not a window? No.
no.
Okay.
But if there was a fire, if one of the projectors, if the celluloid film caught fire, the projectionist would shut the vent in the ceiling, go over to the door, pull the cord, which would shut all the shutters, leave, slam the door, and then no air in here, and the fire would hopefully snuff out. And in a lot of the big theaters, there wasn't a bathroom off. There was just, that was the door in, and sitting right there in the open was a toilet.
The bathroom was so that they didn't have to leave the
They
space
didn't
and
have
control
to
it,
leave
right?
because if it caught fire, they had to get to
had
it
react
immediately.
right away.
Yeah. And yes, sometimes the projectionist would perish in the fire, but usually the idea was that they would run to the door, pull this, which would shut the vent, pull that, which would shut all the projection shutters,
Yeah.
leave, shut the door, and that would block oxygen in
Yeah,
here.
snuff it out. Yeah.
When would that happen? When they had multiple showings after each other and it just got too
No, it was
overheated?
just, it could happen anytime. I mean, there celluloid film and celluloid in general degrades. A couple of years ago, I found some old celluloid dominoes at my house. They're from the 20s, and they were starting to turn green and crumble into dust, and they
Oh, wow.
smelled like mothballs, which is what happens to old celluloid. So I put one on the back porch, and I lit the corner of it with a lighter, and there was a flame like that big.
Wow.
It went up
My God.
fast.
That's crazy.
So several years ago, there was a big storage at I forget which of the big movie studios that had tons of old movies, some of them the only copies of them that existed, lots of old master tapes, but lots of old celluloid
Universal?
film. Universal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing went up in flames, and it was just,
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
it wasn't a spark, it wasn't a flame, it was just celluloid gets old and it can just do that.
One other little detail I wanted to point out that I thought was kind of cool. This room gets very stuffy in the summer. It turns
Yeah.
out McGee has actually added an air conditioner in
Yes.
here at one point.
We
and
don't
it
know
does
where
work.
it comes from, but
So
it works.
it vents out something, but
Something.
but
But it's very McGee.
it does help. So that's kind of cool.
I'm going
it
downstairs.
can be
'cause
cool.
it's
To,
a little hot up here.
it does get like you can tell it gets hot.
Toasty. It was like 80 outside today. Thank
Otherwise,
goodness
shut
it was
down.
really cool
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's a cast iron building that helps. Well,
Cast iron frame.
yeah, I think for
Well, that's it for Youth Center. This
Yep.
is an amazing place. Buy FanStick.